All right, you guys, this is the second part of this interview. So, what I wanted you to talk a little bit about is about so when all this happened, there was a lot of information that was being floated around on YouTube. And I know that there's a lot of people that probably most everybody did not know what was going on. People were speculating, but and a lot of the viewers had even asked me to make comments about it, and they wanted me to weigh in on the situation that happened with you. However, I chose not to do that for the simple fact that I thought about it and I was like, you know what? There's a lot of opinions out there right now. There's a lot of ears to the ground, and at the end of the day, they're listening. They're grabbing at anything, any little tidbits of information that's being put out there. So I chose not to speak on it. I thought about it and I was like, what would there be to gain from my 2 cents? Me talking about it, it's not going to help the situation. So I stayed out of it, bro. But how how did that affect you at all, if it did? And what do you think about some of the things that were being floated out there about your situation?
I think a few people straight fucking if even though they didn't have their facts right, but if it was right, you're snitching. You're dry snitching, even if it's not true or not. That's just my personal opinion. You can't sit there and say, "Well, I heard he was doing this or doing that." What the fuck does that have to do with what happened? If you're gonna sit there and say that I was allegedly involved in this and that, you're speaking on someone's business that could be used in a courtroom, like they did with that one dude from LA that got indicted that was doing all those program stuff. They used someone in his case, one of the videos that he was in on YouTube, in his fucking case. So when these
Yeah,
people sit there and say, "Well, I heard he was doing this or doing that," motherfucker, they can use that shit, man. So like anybody that did that, you're basically fucking, whether it's true or not, and I'm gonna deny it. You still could be looked at as a dry snitching, bro. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not gonna sit there and like, everybody says don't talk on current open cases. We can sit there and
right,
speculate and say this is what they're saying. This is stuff that you're saying that you heard on the streets, not that you heard in the news. This stuff that you said that you heard from a subscriber. Why are you going to even put that out there? There's certain things that we still are very careful about doing on here, just so people don't categorize us as, being snitch content creators. No, we're only speaking about what's being put out there publicly in the outlets, in paperwork, and whatnot. This is shit people are saying that I shot my wife and they went in on her and all kinds of shit, man. And,
yeah,
stuff that isn't even true.
right,
And it becomes frustrating because it's like it went back to the same thing before, where I always felt like I had to defend myself. I'm like, man, fuck it. This is what people think. It just goes to show what type of people I'm dealing with, and I don't want to deal with those type of people. If
yeah,
you have an opinion on something that could be kind of detrimental towards one's case, then talk about it off record with somebody if you feel comfortable. This is what I think happened. But when you do it openly and publicly, you never know if that could be looked into other things, or they could sit there and say this could be the motive, or this is what happened. It creates a narrative, whether it's true or not. The media can run with it. A district
right,
attorney can run with it, and that's the thing that people got to realize. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit there and say, "Oh, I'm solid, I'm active," and yet you're gonna sit there and say I was doing this or doing that. That's bullshit. That's telling.
yeah. You know what?
And that's not to speak on. I'm not trying to speak negative on anybody that did that. It's just people have to think a little bit. Maybe they don't realize they're doing that because I don't know. People have different rules in how they look at things. For different people, and depending on who that person is. But I didn't like the stuff that was being put out there about my wife and just personal shit, man, that people been doing for a long time. I don't like to put anybody's personal shit. If I have an issue with someone or think something, I'm gonna do it between me and them. I'm not gonna sit there and bring someone else's wife into it, or bring, oh, you're cheating on your wife or you're doing this or that on anybody. I'm not gonna do none of that shit because that's personal shit, and that's
Right,
gonna create issues for that person, and people don't respect it. So that I get mad about. You know what I'm saying? But I have to learn that people want that reaction from me. I'm a very kind of emotional person. I can't help it. You know what I'm saying? You do something to me wrong, I'm gonna be like, fuck you then. You know what I mean? That's just how I've always been. But I've always been real. I've never been fake. You know, if you call me up and ask me anything, I'm gonna be a straight shooter. Whether I'm right or wrong, I'm always gonna be straight up about it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't like that though. And that's
yeah,
what fucking got me pissed off, is that people brought family into it and kids, and without having any facts. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here being considered a fugitive for something that's a serious charge. You know what I'm saying? Without people knowing anything. I mean, there's all kinds of different possible scenarios people that could have occurred.
But
You know what I mean?
even if people did have the facts, though, right? It all comes down to what I've been saying, and this is something that people don't seem to understand. As content creators, we are accountable for what we say, the information that we put out on our channels, the people that we bring on, their message. If you're if you have a channel, you're responsible for that stuff. You got to be, you got to be accountable for what you put out there. But even if you had facts about something like that happened, and somebody tapped in with you, that tapped in with somebody that was on the run, and to put that information out there, even though it's factual, that's not going to help the individual that's in trouble. Because, like
Yeah,
I said, man, they're listening. You know what I mean? This YouTube
yeah.
stuff, there's, law enforcement, they're definitely listening. There's a lot of stuff going on. People, somebody got whacked, somebody else got shot. There's a lot of beef going on YouTube. It's escalating, and it's turning into, a an outlet, man, and people are abusing it, and it's getting, it's going from the streets to social media, from social media back out to the streets.
Oh yeah, YouTube bully and Flaco's deep secrets. I've already my attorney has already submitted because Google's easy to get the fucking subpoenas for to get the information. I've already because they caused a lot of stuff, a lot of problems based upon those two channels, and a lot of the information was false. People need to realize, man, that this isn't a game, and everything that you do, they don't lose it. That stuff in the cloud doesn't get lost, man. You can sit there and try to run these VPNs and all that. If they want to find out where that came from, who's getting that content, they can find it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? In the case of this magnitude, you know what I'm saying? It's real serious, man. You know what I'm saying? Like people don't realize the effects of people's actions. I stopped doing that. I think in the beginning I know I kind of messed up a little bit in what you're talking about, but over like the last year and a half, I've been very careful. Except for the ghosting incident, I have no problem talking about that because a fucking baby was killed. I got no problem talking about what I hear about that case.
yeah,
Anything else, I don't want to talk about any current details. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not my position to talk about something that I don't know or could jeopardize someone. And there's stuff to this day that we know, a lot of us may know. I'm not saying you do, but maybe I do, that we don't speak on. That people would be surprised that there could be major situations, but we're not going to talk on it because it's not our. It's not as much as people want to create that narrative that they just want to do this and that. This dude probably got a handler. That's not in everybody's stilo, bro. You know what I'm saying? People
yeah,
get that shit twisted. You know what I mean? Like you know, and that's why I said in my video, there's dudes that probably have worse issues, man, that fucking sat there and carried it out, ran, covered up and stuff, peed on themselves, and what I mean, all kinds of shit, man. But you know, anything can change, man. Like that's the hard part about this YouTube is that people want to categorize people and make it define you. It's like it doesn't matter what Boxer did for 20 some years or Flaco did for 20 years, man. You know what I'm saying? People,
yeah,
people still want to try to fucking categorize this and that. And they put titles, man. Fuck a title, I'm a man. You fuck me over, I'm gonna fuck you back. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the mentality you have to have. That's the real world out there. The real world is cutthroat. It's fucking scandalous, conniving. Motherfuckers will backstab you in a heartbeat, and there's no loyalty. I mean, we learned that. You know what I'm saying? We try to have honor and respect in something that just doesn't exist, and that's the hard part about it, man. It's when I came to this YouTube stuff, I was all on that hoorah positivity, and I thought that we let all that shit go, the egos and shit, but apparently not. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, people want to still think that they're better than other people. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of people that I can sit there and just fucking outline about a lot of people and sit there and say, you know what? You wasn't doing this, you wasn't doing that, you didn't experience this, but what does that prove? I'm entering a pissing contest again. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? We're here to grow and change, and we got to change today and do the things now. So that's where I'm trying to go now, man. I'm trying to get back into the positivity. I know I fuck up from time to time and fucking just do something that's how do you say it? I just be that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Just I voice my opinion on certain things that people don't agree with, but I don't have any hate or malicious contempt for anybody. I just have my opinions on things, and I'm gonna stand by my opinions. And see, that's a problem that we have is that nobody wants to allow someone to have an opinion. You know what I'm saying? Or everybody feels that they can answer the next man's story. You know what I'm saying? Or who was there or what happened. Not everybody knows like what one went through. I mean, look at what you went through. You went through a lot of shit. I know that personally. You know what I'm saying? If people could only understand the shoes that some of us had to walk. You know what I'm saying? But there's a
yeah,
lot of people who are clout chasing, man. They want to And sometimes I know it pisses you off because it pisses me off. You know, it is what it is, man.
What
I
do you
mean,
mean? What do you mean that as far as what people putting false information out there?
putting false information about that they knew this person, they were this and that. You know what I mean? Like, you know,
Yeah,
I know the regiments you ran. You know what I'm saying? Fucking, I had to work under you. You know what I'm saying? I ran prisons. I had crews out there. I did the same shit too. And people fucking think like because someone doesn't like you that what you're saying is not true at times. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like you don't get questions because your stuff's a little bit pretty well stamped out there, bro. Because you know what I mean? You were one of the highest ones that was on YouTube. You know what I mean? But then you get people that haven't seen me for 10, 15 years. They forget I was out there in the mix. I was doing things. I had
yeah,
a lot more pull than a lot of other brothers at the time. I wasn't no fucking fake wannabe out there in the streets. And then you get these dudes that never been nowhere. They're going to sit there and talk on you. They don't realize the sacrifices that we had to make, the things that we had to do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I was low to the teeth of this. You know what I'm saying? Just like you were. But shit gets fucked up. And that's the fucked up thing is that people don't understand at the time. And so you're
yeah.
constantly in battle and I think the problem with me is my reactions to things were a little bit more emotional. So people have been attacking me on that because you know, I have that ego. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
not
Like when
only
people,
that, bro, you respond to it, and when you respond to it, people are gonna keep going with it, bro. There's a
yeah, I
lot of
know.
times. There's a lot of times where I did. I see a lot of stuff that's being said, and at first I let it bother me. Like this, come on, man. These guys are talking about stuff they have no. They probably read it somewhere, or somebody else fed it to them. This is not who they are. This is not the lifestyle that they live. They portray that to these people on YouTube that don't know. They haven't been there. So how can you expect them to understand? They're sucking it all up. But yeah, that's when I seen a lot of that, fakery, man. I had to back up, man. I had to back away from it because I was taking it personal because that was the lifestyle I was living, and it's not a game. It's not about trying to get some views. It's not about trying to. A lot of people are trying to preserve their image, you know, separate themselves from other people when they've done the same thing. If in some cases worse, you know. So there's a lot of times, man, yeah, where I sat back and I just laughed at stuff. I'm like, man, the nerve of some of these cats, man. Speaking on things can look the camera straight in the eyes and just straight lie, man. So I at the end of the day, the best thing for me to do is to just completely remove myself, man, and just continue to do what I was doing. That's what I did.
Yeah, yeah,
The thing with you, man, is you responded to a lot of it. And once you did that, that's once the drama started going, then it turned into what it is now on YouTube. It sells. A lot of people want to hear about it. That's why they're getting all these views. You know what I mean?
yeah. And then when people are putting out good content, it's like you try to go. I couldn't. Sometimes I'll be like getting away from everything, focused. I'm still gonna have my opinions on certain things. People don't have to agree with that, man. Um, but I'm not gonna lie about my experiences. I'm never gonna do that, man. This is what I experienced. This is what I seen. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes people think that people are trying to always embellish or spin the narrative. It's like you have to be 100% accurate. Like me, I have to safeguard everything to make sure I have all my ducks in a row because someone's going to try to fucking question it because they just want to just to stir the pot, you know. But there's, I started realizing like I started having a lot of good dudes, like Flaco Zubiade reaches out to me, fucking he knew me, Chongo, other cats, a lot of cats, all these cats know you too as well, man. I started realizing that the dudes that really were about that life know who I am and they reach out, so it doesn't really matter, man. I got to quit worrying about fucking what others think, and that was the biggest fucking problem that I was having is that like you said, I was responding, man. But like I don't think people realized I was going through a lot of personal shit in my life, and it was just the wrong time for everything to happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I had the other one that fucking, what I'm saying, for some reason that I found out from an active Sudano has a channel. I can't say his name. That even before the fight, that motherfucking runner was talking hella shit about me. He got at me. He goes, man, I'm gonna tell you. He goes, what you were thinking? He goes, because I mentioned his name in a video. I can't say his name, but if you put two and two together, people can realize what I'm talking about. He goes, he was talking about you. He said that you weren't even gonna come to the fight. He was talking shit about you a long time ago. So all that shit that I really believed, I'm having active dudes that are fucking respected telling me, nah, you're not tripping, bro. He was doing this shit towards you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
that happened actually like a day or two before, and I was like, you know what, cool. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, everything's coming out now. Like everything that people thought I was tripping and all that, it's all coming to light. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, and Gunner was the number one person behind it. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I will say. If there's those that probably wanted to go for the ride because they thought they were going to benefit, I'm not going to sit there and say who, what, where, because I don't know for 100% facts because I wasn't privileged to those conversations. But there was a sabotage against me, bro. You know what I'm saying? To create conflict with a lot of people. You know, with
Yeah.
you, all this stuff. You know what I mean? You know, and I started putting two to two together, man. And I was like, I almost fucking left YouTube. And I said, you know what? I got to put the truth out there. And I did. And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? The smart ones are going to sit there and step on back and not say nothing. You know, Runner can continue to bury himself. There ain't nothing. You know what? As far as channels, that dude right there, man, has no fucking merit to speak on shit, man. He needs to get the fuck off YouTube and fucking quit talking about anything, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he's disrespected a lot of us, and a lot of us what we used to represent. You know what I'm saying? So that's my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? As far as with that dude, everybody else, I don't care. I give everybody like the benefit like you do. I don't care. Just leave me alone. I do me. But as far as that dude's a little punk right there, man. Little fucking little weenie. He needs to get off that YouTube shit, man. You know,
Yeah. I
because
hear
he's
you.
already made a laughing stock of fuck. You know, it's a laughing stock, man. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's me. I got a little bit emotional, but fuck it, I got to keep it 100, man. As far as with him, he's a piece of shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Focus
know.
on that. Focus on that. Trying to get yourself. Try to remove. Just try to fix your situation the best way you can. The details of what's involved, and I hope it works out for you, bro. I don't wish it on nobody.
Yeah, man.
Fletcher was somebody I've talked about in the past. I don't care for, but I wouldn't wish that on him. Regardless of people's past, in a lot of cases it doesn't define that person. It's not how they think. They don't live the rest of their life like that. I wouldn't want
Well,
to see nobody get caught up. You know what I mean? Especially
when,
going back.
when I went to the Tampa thing, right? I went to the premiere for the movie. I was trying to stop by and see you, but I didn't know how you were gonna feel if I called you up at that time, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know,
there was a lot going on. There was a lot going on at that time, bro.
'cause you know what I mean? Because like I'm hardly ever out that way though, bro. So like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, fuck, man, but I didn't know how you were gonna feel because all that shit was going on. I just didn't. I was listening to your videos, like I don't want no part of the drama. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, but eventually I knew I was gonna eventually have to talk. Like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that I was able to come on here and discuss a lot of stuff, man. And you know, and people could see. People kind of forget. Everybody has a short term memory. They forget that we all came into this. You came in first. We copycatted off you. You know what I'm saying? And that everything was good. People think that like some of us have had like issues or front. They don't know that we all have a past. Some of us, man. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? And only YouTube. It's gotten a little bit too serious, man. You know what I'm saying? So next time I'm out that way towards Florida, I'm gonna hit you up though, bro.
Yeah, most definitely, bro. Yeah, without a doubt. Hey, bro, I appreciate you coming on here, man. I hope it works out for you. I'm sure it will. You know what I'm saying? And I know you already know this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Don't talk about your situation, man. You know what I mean? I know a lot of people want to know what's happening. Just keep it close to the hip, bro. You know what I'm saying? For real, for
Yeah.
real. Um, you know, with that said, is there anything else you want to say? Are you
You
still
know,
gonna
just,
continue to do the YouTube thing, or are you gonna give that?
no, I'm thinking about doing a Patreon, and I'm thinking about just charging $1, bro, and doing the YouTube stuff on there, and just having people that want to just tune into the positive stuff and staying away from the bullshit drama. I went on there. I was going to charge like 49 cents or 99 cents. On Patreon, you have to charge more than $1. So I was going to make it affordable. So what I'm probably going to do is, if someone can't afford $1 a month, I'll fucking pay for the shit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? You
that's
know,
right.
so it's not. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be on I don't want to be on the social media, but I still want to do things to help out, man. And there's a lot of people I've been able to help out, man. Like Italiano. You know what I'm saying? When his son got shot, Lucky Local, when his son was going through the pill addiction. I was able to help a lot of people out, man, and I want to still be able to do it. But when I'm focused on the bullshit, it gets me away from the things I want to do. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yes, sir. Yeah, there's nothing else I can think about right now to talk about, bro. I'm sure a lot of people are curious about the details, man. But
I got a question for you.
what's that?
How could this genre on the West Coast with all the Raza channels, how could it be fixed?
How could it be fixed? The
Yeah,
genre?
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't even think that you can get everybody together and come with some kind of general consensus that there's things that people will respect, because you got too many people that are doing their own thing, and there's too much bad blood out there that's already out there. I don't think that people will understand. If people would just tell the truth, if people would stop trying to portray these false images, these facades, these fake personas, and just concentrate on their real experiences, it wouldn't create negative feelings with other people. That's what creates a lot of the animosity. People seeing you tell fake stories about whatever it is you're talking about, YA, prison, people's neighborhoods. People take that stuff personal. They're not going to just sit back and allow you to talk negative about somebody's neighborhood, or talk negative about something that somebody else is doing. People are going to respond to it, but
Stay in your lane.
people really don't know how to stay in their own lanes. They talk about it. I stay in my lane, but no, you don't. You really don't. You know what I mean? And a lot of those reaction videos, that causes a lot of conflict. I don't do them, because the way I look at it is like, who am I to, put my opinion out there on somebody else? And it's just an invitation to cause conflict right there. If I'm gonna talk about somebody and what they're doing, they're gonna respond to it. You know what I mean? That causes a lot of conflict right there. There's a lot of people that I don't like. I just don't like them. I don't like their stilo. I don't like what they represent. I don't like the way they carry themselves or anything that comes out their mouth. And to have somebody just, do those type of reactions, it's like, man, what are you speaking on people for, man? You know what I mean? You're the last one that should be speaking on people.
Yeah.
If you're gonna say you stay in your own lane, stay in your own lane. Talk about whatever, you know what I mean? Talk about your little funny style skinny jeans or whatever you do, man. But stop talking about other people, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, shouts out to Bilo. Bilo was one that really, you know what I'm saying? He had a whole misinterpretation of me, but once he got to know me, he goes, man, you a real, he goes, man, you're nothing like a lot of motherfuckers were trying to fucking portray you to be, man. And, just sometimes people, like I said, man, I think if people stayed in their lane and just focused on what they did or what they know, or who, I mean, some of us, you have a lot more ability to speak on certain things I can't speak on. You know what I'm saying? That I won't. I may know, but I'm not gonna speak on anything that I don't have the fucking hearsay out, right? It's all hearsay. You know what I'm saying? But you have other people who are putting out their like third party information, and a lot of times it ain't accurate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I've been staying away from certain things. Like I could talk about, what I'm saying, some of the carnales that I know, some of the fucking generals that I had dealings with. But there's certain things I can't act like I was part of this and that, as far as I was doing this and that, because then it puts out a little bit of different image, and people start to sit there and say, "Oh, he's trying to fucking name push, or he's trying to do this and that." The stuff I did in my life speaks enough. You know what I'm saying, that I was
Yeah.
involved with. That's all I stand behind. But there is people, like, I used to get irritated, like, how the fuck you gonna speak on this dude over here and you don't even know this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? And then you get a whole fucking story, and it's nothing true in what you hear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Most
But
definitely.
anyway, man, yeah, I appreciate the ability to come on, man, and I hope other channels can take heed to what you've been doing. I've been telling you that for, like, since we barely started talking again. That I think a lot of more channels need to do what you're doing, because you just sit back and watch and don't engage. And if anybody's supposed to emulate a channel and they want to do something positive, do what Boxer's doing. Don't do what I used to do, which was fucking respond.
Yeah, real talk. But we don't handle our conflict like that anyway. A lot of it was just YouTube and views, man. You know what I mean? So hey, concentrate on yourself, bro. Concentrate on what you got going on, man. There's a lot of things you need to fix in your life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, whatever you got to do to cleanse yourself, your you know, just your inner being, bro. If you need to take a couple weeks, go to a program. If that's what you got to do to get yourself right, because you got some real battles ahead, man, that you got to overcome, bro. Don't get drawn back into it. You know what I mean? Concentrate on doing what you got to do to get yourself right, bro.
For me, right now. It's about me right now. I'm no good to nobody unless I'm good to myself, and I realize that.
That's right. With that said, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. I appreciate you coming on, Flaco. We up out of here, man.